he's getting it now.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Heavy Metal Customs. Well, this video is going to be all about getting back on the 65 Galaxie 500 project. Well, we really didn't stray away from it. We had the Trans Am project, which was a short one. What was that, like 3 weeks? That we did put a lot of time and effort in on. But during a lot of that, Casey did keep working on the Galaxie. But where we're at now, we got, let's see, he got the doors and the fenders both sanded down, and we got the epoxy primer sealer good coat on them. Well, all right, everybody. We've got our doors and our fenders in here. Yeah, the old Galaxie's going to be awesome when we get her done. But we went ahead and got our first coat of primer sealer on them, and that turned out just fine. I don't put a big thick coat or 2 coats on it. 1 good coat to do it, because as we've discussed, we're going to be putting our filler over the primer sealer, epoxy primer sealer, and get that all sanded out and smoothed down. Then we'll do another coat of the epoxy primer sealer. After that cures, of course, we'll do the regular high build primer and block sander out to get her slick. But hey, we got that done and it turned out fantastic. And now what Casey is doing, he's got his body filler on the fenders, and he's getting that sanded down and trying to finalize the fenders, get them in good shape. Then we'll get another coat of the epoxy primer sealer on them. But while he's doing that, I'm going to go to the car. There's a couple of spots in the back that I need to weld in some metal, and I need to fabricate this front piece here for this inner fender well. I just can't find one nowhere, so I'll just make this here, and we need to work on that floor pan to see if we got enough material to get that done. So hang out and we'll dig into this old Galaxie. What I've done here is made me a cardboard template. It just fits right in here just like so. Yeah, I gotta add 1.5 inches here. But that's what we need. We're going to put the Sharpie and mark out where the template goes to. So now we're going to cut down through here to get rid of the bad rust. And then we'll try our cardboard template again. If it fits good, then we'll transfer this to a piece of metal and then try to get that metal formed in. May have a little trouble around here, I don't know. But we'll see what we'll come up with. But let's get the ugly stuff cut out first. Get all that ugly cut out and got her cleaned up. Our template fits just fine. Just got to remember to add that 1.5 inches over there on the right side. So let's go ahead and transfer this template to a piece of metal. All right, we got our cardboard here. Let's just get her flattened out. Edges straight. Grab a Sharpie. Got somebody. Fit here is pretty good. I'll tap in a little bit here and there, but general fit is where we want it. Now let's go over to the bead roller and get us some lines in it. I can't match that side. They got the square type raises in it. I don't have that for my bead roller, but I got the round one. But we'll go ahead and put 4 of them here. It'll be cosmetic and it'll be for some strength. So let's do that. That piece looks pretty good.
Does it?
Casey's over here copying me.
Does it?
Yes, it does. It's welded in good, and it fit well. The only problem is, we'll let y'all see up here, still got some roughness right through there. But instead of putting an ugly piece up there, I'm going to go with Casey's idea, which is make a piece for under here and weld it in. Then we do a little fill in on top for pretty. Well, what we got here, yeah, I know that's a weird looking piece of metal, but it will work. Once this goes up in there, it will cover all the ugly and make it strong, as you can see. What I'll do is start here on this side and get some weld, and then we'll form fit it as we go up through there and get her welded in. That will work out perfect. It'll look good, and it'll support well and be a really strong piece.
Will it?
So, let's do it. You hush.
All right.
Love the hat. All right. Well, we got that welded in there. That support's going to work out perfect. That gives some strength to it and does a good job. Now I'm going to let it down and get some little stitch welds across the top of that just for a little extra. Alright, well we got that finished up. We just took some spray can primer, went over it real quick. Got to be some more sand in here and there. But that piece is made and it turned out really well. I'm happy with that. Now on to the next thing, which will be the driver's side floorboard sections. We have this up here. What we're going to do, we're going to go from here up to somewhere in here. Just get rid of the rust. He does not want complete floors in this. Just fix the bad spots, and I got no issue with that. But we'll get these cut out here, and then here, you can see the rust here. Well, we've got to go roughly from here back. But there is rust under here. So what we got to do is get our air chisel and take this plate out and take this one out. Then we can get that floorboard correct and then put these back in there. So let's get to it. Now we got all the rusty stuff cut out. Yeah, we Fred Flintstone it, that's for sure. But yeah, cool. Laid my pieces out here. You can see the worst one was up front there. Then we got to go through and get our seat brackets off of this one. But for now I'm just going to leave it a whole piece. That way I can get a general idea of my bending. And then this last little piece I've already got over here. I know it didn't look bad, did it? No, not until I cleaned everything up. And I figured I might as well get this little piece as well. You can see by the sunlight there that yes, she is rusty. So, this is what sheet metal I got to work with. So I'm going to get to cutting this stuff out and see if I can get it to form into some floorboards. Cool. Well, as you can see, we don't have enough metal on hand to fabricate these. So, there's always a plan B. I think this actually worked out a little bit better. What I've got here, when we first got the Mustang, he had a left and right floor pan. Of course, you know, we just replaced everything on that. So I got a brand new driver's side floor pan for a Mustang. Well, I just laid it down in here. With a hammer, it will fit and it will conform. I mean, it's brand new. There's no sense of letting the stuff go to waste. Yeah, I could put it up. We could keep it in stock or whatever, but, you know, I tell that gentleman there to sell it to somebody. But they said if I could use them in this car, to use them. So, I'm going to go ahead and cut this piece on out here. Go ahead and cut her down through there and get this right here done. Get that removed, and then we'll set that in there, and I think that's going to work very well for us. Alright guys, you see the cuts that I put in the new one? Here's why. The Mustang floor pan is just flat. This one is not. So you can see over there, it goes there, drops down, goes, drops down, and goes. We're going to have to bend that panel. We've got all of this cleaned up and ready to go. So let's see if we can form that one to fit like it's supposed to in this one. I believe I got her the contour that I was looking at. You see she's straight, and it steps down, straight, steps down, and straight. Pretty much same as this side. Yeah. So that's not looking too bad at all. And what I'm going to go do, guys, is just run me some sheet metal screws in there, some self-tappers to hold it all together, while I see if I can conform the rest of it. We'll actually have everything set before we do any welding. So let me zap them screws in there, and then we'll get up top and see if we can get this other stuff to fit. I believe I do have that fitted where it needs to be. Yeah, we got that little square up there. We got to put a patch panel in, but no big deal. And we'll have to come down here and fix that spot there. That's where the speed armor cable comes through. But that's cool. We can do that when we pull it out, because we got to punch holes in it. But I got my screws holding it all in. Now, before I go making these other pieces, what we need to do is, walk over here with me, is we need our seat rails. So I'm going to take Protect Air Chisel and just run down through there and get them out, because we need to set these rails over in the car and make sure that they're how they're supposed to be. As you can see how these are, the way the seat bolts down, she's level. And that's the way the other side's got to be, of course. So let me get them cut off, and then we'll do a test fit and see how close I got my floorboard over there. I think we're pretty good. Got them all cleaned up and ready to rock, and they're fitting in there well. I did have to go underneath and bring the floorboard up a little bit here in the back, down a little bit in the front, because these right here are pretty much level. Once that goes down, you see how close we are here. This one's got to go down a little bit and mash down, but that tells us that we're in the right vicinity. Yeah, everything's looking cool. Good deal. Well, that tells us where we need to be there. So now we just need to make our other filler pieces go in here and get them all configured. Well, we got that one taken care of. And as you can see here, I flanged all the edges so I could get a better fit on that thing, because I wanted to bring it up through the bottom. Now when we go to weld it, we can pull it up here and close up all the small gaps. But that right there is not bad at all. Let's need to make this piece here. But the issue I'm running into is I wouldn't mind getting the black one and that one welded in before I made this piece, because them vice grips are right in the way. Take them apart. Just going to let that move probably. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and get some of this done as far as welded in. Still got to do that piece up there for the speedo cable. But let me get that taken care of, like I say, and get what I got made already welded in, and then we'll make this back piece, because it's going to be a little weird. As you can see, it comes up, well, you can see by that side over there. So yeah, we're going to have to make a piece that goes sort of flat, then comes up and over like so. But we can do that. But let's get all of this solid and welded in, then we'll move on to that. Show y'all what all's involved besides the metal work. I mean, come in here, punched all my holes, as you can see. Of course, got to clean all the paint off the areas that's going to be welded. And it's also the inside on that lip. Then I came inside the car and cleaned up where everything's going to be welded. Now what I got to do is come under here and all this undercoating. Anything that's going to be close to a weld has got to go. If not, we will have one of the stinkingest fires you've ever seen. But yeah, I'll get all of this cleaned up and get a bunch of this ground down as well. So as you can see, quite a bit in doing a little project like this right here. Got them two pieces cleaned up and ready to weld in. As you can see, I put screws back in to help hold everything. A couple of pair of vice grips. Yeah, just a couple. But I don't want it to go nowhere. But I'm going to go ahead and get this welded in and work it a little bit as I weld. There's some spots that are close, if I could be closer. And then we'll move on to getting this back piece done and getting them welded back in. Alright guys, yeah, it's been a couple days since I've done any videoing. And like I say, floorboard done. Casey is coming here and see, got all of this scuffed up. We're trying to get this thing ready for primer. He got the rest of the front end stripped because we really need to get them cleaned up, get some primer on them so they don't rust away. And I paint all this stuff in here black. So that had to be done. You got it pretty close.
Technically, the only thing I'm lacking is the trunk sill and the sun deck if you want to prime the sun deck.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think we'll prime repaint that sun deck too. But, I mean, the whole car's looking good. There's a lot of work there, guys. Yeah, it's still going to be a lot of work, but in case we get the rest of this sanded down, and we'll get us some epoxy primer sealer sprayed on it, and then we'll get to start the body work. Alright, next on the agenda, we move the car over into the third bay, because all it really needs is, what, Casey, just wiping down?
A little bit of rust from the frame and yeah, wiping down.
Yeah, and we can go ahead and get our first coat of primer on it. So what Casey done was brought out all the other parts, as you can see here, and getting them all scuffed up and ready for primer. These parts, perfect condition. The dash, got one little spot right there, which I think the primer will take care of. The rest of that dash looks good. You said the steering column looked fine, right?
Yeah.
Okay, steering column going to look good. The hood had a, what'd you say, 4 little dings on top?
4 littles, 1 gouge, 1 big one.
Yeah, that we're going to have to deal with. Besides that, this hood that they brought us looks pretty good. He's got to get this outer edge sanded down because we do have some rust here. But that's not terrible for a 1965 hood. She does not look rotted out through there, which is usually where the damage occurs. Yeah, not bad at all. But he'll get this finished sanding. Actually, that's what he was working on when I told him to stop so I can get some film footage. Now the trunk. Went through all the trunk and got it scuffed up where to hold primer. But here's the issue. And this is a commonplace. Y'all can see the rust in there. And you can see where the previous body guy just crammed it full of filler. Especially on this side. Yeah, we're going to have to cut that panel out and make us a new panel for that on the trunk. He's going to go ahead and sand down the metal plumb down to there and on these sides. be 100%, but yeah. We're going to have to put a section in the trunk. At least the top of it looks good. It's sanded out very well without any issues. So let me put up a camera and let him get back to sanding, and we'll see how the rest of that hood turns out, and then we'll address any rush issues that we have. We got our bad spot cut out, and we got our new piece cut out. And all I did, guys, I took a dolly and just set it down in there and smacked it to get that V. And as far as this twist on the end, just grabbed it and twisted it. But I think we're pretty close. The thing about stuff like this, you can get it in one end and get it started, and then if you're just a shade off as you're going, it's no big deal just to tap, 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 and get it. We'll try some of these Harbor Freight magnets here and see if they'll do anything for us. I don't know if that magnet's going to hold with crap or not. I used them on another thing, and it seemed to do pretty good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this first time I set it down in there. May need to just come, I think on this piece of metal, Casey, I'll bring it up from the bottom, and I think we'll have a much better fit in there. Versus trying to butt weld it. Would involve, you know, grinding some more down and grinding some more of this down. But if I can get this in here, let's bring it up from the bottom. Got it done now. That's going to look so much better. I'll push it on up. Yeah, that's fine. The piece here keeps dropping down. I need like a screwdriver or something, but I'll just get it up there. Like so. Don't breathe on it. I like that much better. I'll get a couple of tacks across this front, then go in there with like a little 90 or something.
Like this?
Yeah, that worked fine. And then push up on this and get it going. Yeah, I think this one, going from the underside and coming in, is going to give us more welding surface and a much better fit. And of course, all of this gets a, lather fiberglass to go over it, because they chose not to totally redo the whole trunk, just this one bad section. The other parts are just going to clean up fiberglass after we get some primer on them. But yeah, that'll work. All right, well, I'm gonna work with this some, guys, and start getting this all tacked in and worked in there the way I want it. Then we'll probably move on to something else. Don't know what else we got to do at the moment, but we'll see. Well, everyone, that's really not a ton more that I can do at this time. Might be some miscellaneous sanding or stuff like that here and there, but for my part, not Casey's part, for me, I really need to get to spraying some primer and laying some fiberglass and doing some body work on this car. But due to the weather and it's not having no heat in here yet, that's not going to happen for a bit. So, what I think I'll do for this video is go ahead and wrap it up. We did get a lot done, and everything's going well, so I can't complain. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video. I do appreciate you watching. If you would, throw us down some comments. If you're able, hit us up on the super thanks below, and please like, share, and subscribe. Again, appreciate it much. Till the next one, we hope that everyone has a fantastic day.